So when you have a problem and you're trying to write copy until you become masterful at it, there's an easier shortcut. And here's what you do. You go to Amazon.com. Phil, let's go to Amazon.com. You take the subject, and as you start with a general, and then you go granular. By that I mean, let's take, because there were a lot of people on weight loss, and then you might have a specific one. Let's look up weight loss books for me. You take the concept. Guys, I'm trying to shorten this. It took me like years to figure this out. And I thought one day, God, they don't realize that they're spending all this money so I can write great copy instantly, and you can too. Okay, look up weight loss books. Okay, so you look up the topic in its general sense first. Go to it. You look at the top 100. And you look at the titles and the subtitles. Because if we did it correctly, go down, many will be conveying to the reader the big payoff. And as we know, Bob, titles can't be copyrighted. And I don't recommend that you use them verbatim, but they sure are a fast emulation and modeling tool. And if you go through these, you'll get an incredible list of headlines, subheadlines, cross-headlines. Headlines, that makes sense. Subheadlines, they precede or they follow the main line. They are the embellishment or the parenthetical comment. Cross-headlines are the categories that you want to build your sales letter, your email, your website, your landing page. Does that make sense? Okay, if you have a long letter, I don't know if Steve might have taught you this, or you have a website, it's daunting for a reader to read, 5, 10 pages. You want to have cross headlines about every 4, 5, 6 paragraphs, which summarize the payoff or the content or the benefit or the big screaming information that resides below. Because a lot of people will skim through the whole thing and zero in on one part that resonates, and then they'll back up and read the rest. Does that make sense? And your job is to make sure I'm not abstract.
No, you're doing great.
Okay, now let's go to the top. Let's take another one, because there was a book on osteoporosis. Let's look up arthritis for a minute. Would you already do it? Stay here. Let me do something different. Give me a book that's got a good title. Stay here, Phil, in weight loss. Let's find one that's got a good headline. Where's it at? My brain isn't sync. Keep going. Eating for life. See, this is not as good. Like the ultimate weight solution, 7 keys to weight loss freedom. Eating well after weight loss, sir, now. Absolution. Keep going.
Missing link.
No. Okay. Let's go to the missing link for a minute. When do you use that? Let's go to that. Hit it. Now I'm going to show you the next level, how to write great copy. The key to great copy, and when I send you this document called The Strategy of Preeminence, and I'm not really like trying to tease you, it's just that it's like a day and a half worth of instruction that I don't have time for, and you can do it in your own. Hopefully you'll be self-motivated to do this. The key to writing great copy, Bob and I were talking about the key to making great presentations, the key to being a great salesman or woman, the key to writing great emails, the key to amassing and sustaining a fortune is empathy. It's having such a heartfelt need for, understanding, appreciation, and need to help fulfill a problem, an opportunity. Can somebody turn it off because it diverts me? That the intended prospect has, and your ability to put it into very finite and clarified words that they've never thought about. And in the beginning, even though you might have that need, most of you, as I said, are so internally focused, the I attitude instead of the me, that a shortcut to mastering it and to writing great copy and to creating all the components that you'll build into the body of your letter. And I think Steve gave you there's a lot of formulaic approaches, and I also have a document on that I can give you too that's got like every formula, and they're all very overlapping, but you can look at it.
Would you like that?
Yeah, okay, you just got to remind me when I get back. I'll find it for you Monday. Is to go then to the reviews. Now go to the reviews. Now, this is so cool. There's two kinds of reviews.
Scroll down to the bottom there, Phil, so we can see below that down there. There you go.
Now, first thing is the editorial review, which is oftentimes, if it's a popular book, pretty good copy in its own right, with verbiage you can borrow very generously from. But I'm talking about the reader reviews. So go to some reader reviews. And if there are none here, find a book that has it, or I won't make the point. Yeah. There are two categories.
Scroll down a little further, Phil. Is there any more down there? Is there?
One of your greatest.
Yeah, there you go. There's it.
One of your greatest allies in life is going to be polarization. And Bob may disagree, but years ago somebody said something to me that I thought was pretty profound. He said, it's better to be loved or hated than tolerated. He said, unless you like rape somebody's wife or take their first, they're not going to really spend time putting you down. But if they love you, if they adore you, if they get an incredible outcome from you, they're going to tell the world as long as you guide them to do that. And polarization is going to be your greatest ally in writing copy using the Amazon.com School of Business, because there are two decisively different kinds of reviews. They're the ones that love it and the ones that hate it. And if you study NLP, NLC, the psychology of selling, persuasion, influence, motivation, people are trying to get close to something or away from something. They're either being wounded or they're being, salved or whatever the opposite of wounding is. And this is healed. Okay, this is already done for you when you look at the reviews, because when you look at the 10s, the 9s, and the 8s, those are positive. You look at the 3s, the 2s, the 1s, the 0s, those are negative. In the most heartfelt, emotionally spontaneous expression from the you attitude of the you reader, they are up there saying what they loved, what they got out about it, how it fulfilled a need, a problem. They're expressing what they were struggling with. They're giving you all the copy points you want. Does that make sense? And it's right there. And Amazon spent millions, billions of dollars, so you can just go there. And when I'm writing copy for a client, I go through the 100 top-selling books in the category. I go through the granular, more specific categories. I write out the headline, the subheadline. I list them. Then I go to the reviews. I put the positives for a bunch of them in the left, including the summary headlines that either Amazon or Amazon's copywriters, because they pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to their copywriters, or the people themselves have used. I put the negative ones in the right, and then I amass them, the things that I'm going to do for you, the things I'm going to eliminate for you. Does that make sense?
No, that's so great.
Well, it works. Every
So
time
if
I've
you've done
it,
this last night,
Yeah.
you just gone to Amazon.com to fill out the page you wrote, see, he would have picked it.
Now, does that make sense? I mean, let's just look so I can show you a demonstration. Go up to the top, Phil, of these reviews. Is that the first one?
Yes.
Okay. If you're looking for a book, if you're looking for a book to tell you exactly what to eat, how much to eat, and when to eat it, you probably don't want this book. But if what you're looking for is same insight on why these fad diets don't work and helping hands supposed to be hands-on, how to get your case. So you could go to that. I'm just giving you an example. So you could go to that, and I always use a highlighter and just take out the key phrases that are stimulus. So you say a lot of books are strategies tell you, what to eat, how much to eat, but it doesn't work. You need to know, and then you build in. You need to know why it works, and the strategy behind it, and the subconscious mindset. So you would translate that word. Does that make sense? Again, I'm not trying to write brilliant copy, just trying to show you to translate. And you could say after this one guy says, I read the book just a few days ago and listened to and I find myself eating less. And so you could say after getting this simple, fascinating understanding alone, you will probably within days find yourself eating less and picking healthier foods just because you understand. And you just take that. Does that make sense, Bob? Because I'm trying to be very quick.
Yep.
This is like killer. This is killer.
This is such a good trailer.
Well, it works. I mean, every client I ever worked for, I used to do what I used to teach, and it would take me weeks. Now I pay somebody a couple $100 and have them go online and do all this, and I got templates, and then I sit down, and every word that I've got is gold. Now, as you get proficient at copywriting, arguably you'll do better, but this is like infallible. This is infallible. So I've just given you a way to make all due respect, poor performing copy great. Instantly. And at the same time, it's psychologically going to transform you, because by getting in touch with what people love and what they were frustrated with and what they think it doesn't give them and what they need, you're going to get such an enhanced sense of empathy that you'll be able to express yourself in everything you do. Emails, follow-up, websites, copy, teleconferences, interviews with the media with such a greater sense of true connection and bonding to your market. Does that make sense? Okay, so I've done that.